So I was starting with the names of that Hungarian cell, especially that revolved around the Hungarian uncle of the children, Gyuri Szabolcs. There are also other names like Hartai Ilona and Keszeli Sándor, with address Örvény utca, number 5, in the city of Szeged, in the south of Hungary. And there is also Mafia Justice, Pókovics Hedvig, which is justice at the district court of Mosonmagyaróvár in the north of Hungary, where actually mafia proceedings P20025/2019 is happening. So the role of the Hungarian cell is that we would be deprived illegally of our parental rights. Why illegally? Because what happened is that after we left Belgium, we went to Hungary. While we were in Hungary, we also noticed suspicious activities aimed against us, against me, against my ex-wife, and against the children. Especially coming on the side of Mr. Gyuri Szabolcs, the Hungarian uncle of the children, who was provoking tantrums on the side of his own sister, Gyuri Eszter, so that he could later make videos regarding those tantrums that would later, as we discovered later, these videos were aimed at feeding the mafia proceedings that I mentioned earlier in Hungary. And same role was attributed to Hartai Ilona and Keszeli Sándor when we were in Szeged. The aim was to feed the mafia proceedings, the Hungarian mafia proceedings, with arguments, with papers, with testimonies, with whatever evidence, so that there would be matter, there would be something inside the files, and on the basis of which the judge could then decide to deprive us illegally from our parental rights. But this is illegal, and this is a problem. Why? Because when we were in Szeged, so in the south of Hungary, my ex-wife and my 2 children, I had already left Hungary on July the 30, 2017, but my ex-wife and my children were still Hungarians living in Hungary. What happened? They weren't. They went to the town hall in the city of Szeged, and they asked to get the status of Hungarians living abroad. And they made a statement. My ex-wife expressed the will to leave Hungary definitively in her name and in the name of the children. That's what she did. On doing that, normally according to the rule of law, what happens is that a card is given to the one who expresses the will to leave Hungary definitively, according to which mentions that these people are now Hungarians living abroad with address abroad. Of course, that was a problem for the mafia, because they know very well that with such a legal status, it's the legal status that prevails, and the legal status means that no Hungarian institution, police force, court is competent to deprive me and my ex-wife of my parental authority, to even give the children to the Hungarian grandparents, let alone temporarily or definitively. And so the police they asked themselves, what are we going to do? Oh, we have to hide that. We're going to make fake. And the police made 2 fake papers, hiding this legal status, pretending and giving me, my ex-wife, and my 2 children, of course, untrue addresses in Hungary, and referring to a Hungarian law, which is inapplicable to us and to our children, and to me, to our children, and to my ex-wife, because of the legal status. So they were actually hiding the legal status, and they are still hiding the legal status and its prevalence. The fact is that we discovered the truth, I and my ex-wife, but the Hungarian grandparents, they don't believe that, and they are still under influence of the mafia. They are deceived by the mafia. They are deceived by their own son, Gyuri Szabolcs. They are deceived by, of course, the local police forces in the city of Mosonmegyeszar, north of Hungary, who knows about everything, who knows that these papers made by the police force in Szeged are mafia ones. They know They know the truth. They know that it's illegal to conceal the legal status. So the mafia justice, Polkovics Hedvig, at the district court of Mosonmegyeszar knows it very well also. All the mafia knows that it's illegal. And everything revolves around that. The incompetence of the court, incompetence of police forces. And it's only about that we have to talk in these Hungarian mafia proceedings, and not to be blurred by the abundance of papers, mafia papers that actually with which you can excuse me, but you can then drop into the dustbin. Producing papers for papers, that is also typical for mafia proceedings. It's the same in Belgium, where actually the situation is very simple, and it's the same in Hungary, where actually everything can be summarized very easily. So, as I said, the Hungarians, our grandparents are deceived because they really think that they have been legally appointed guardians of the children, that they have all authority upon the children, although the children, according to the status of Hungarians living abroad, and just like us, and they should be living with us abroad. The mafia knows it very well that is in conformity with the rule of law if the children live abroad with us, and that they should live abroad with us. The mafia knows that they should be with us. The police also knows that in Mosonmegyeszar. The police in Szeged knows that. Even the Hungarian uncle of the children know that. Even the justice, mafia justice, Polkovics Hedvig, knows that. Everyone knows that. And still they are acting mafia-like by deceiving the Hungarian grandparents into thinking that they have the full authority upon the children. And when we took the children to by car to go and leave Hungary and live with us in conformity with their status and our statuses, the Hungarian grandmother was deceived. She by her own son, who told her that she should call the police, so that the police would then do everything to get the children back. And the police, of course, in Hungary could localize us where we were in the Czech Republic, in the city of Brno. And what they do, they called local police forces in the city of Brno, Czech police forces, and to go and get the children. And they gave them that famous paper, mafia paper produced by the city of Szeged. And so they also deceived the local police forces in the Czech Republic, of course, who couldn't guess what was wrong with that paper, and they didn't know that, of course, the legal status had been deceived, and that the children should actually be with us. We tried to attract their attention upon that, but of course they said we obey the instructions, we follow the instructions. And so they took the children, but they left us in the hotel room, and the next day we learned that they were brought back to Hungary. So the role also of the Hungarian side is also to see to it that the children could not be abroad, could not be outside of Hungary. Why? Because if they would be outside of Hungary, of course, they, in case of forceful acceptance of the legacy of the Belgian grandmother, they could then immediately apply for asylum, because you have to know that in order to apply for asylum, physical presence is necessary. And this has all been invented and imagined by this ill brain of Mr. Vincent Diunta, who is behind everything. So, this is what I wanted to say. For so far, thank you.